There's one question that always comes up about Frankenstein, and that is, how could an 18-year-old girl come up with one of the most influential books in history? Well, the answer is that Frankenstein is a strangely personal story with many connections to Mary Shelley's childhood. This is day 2 of the history of Frankenstein. I'm going to be doing this each day over the next few weeks. Let's get into it. Here's a good way to guarantee a f***ed-up childhood for your kid. Publish a memoir about the mother's former love affairs and mental health struggles. That's exactly what happened to Mary Shelley. Her mother died after a botched surgery during Mary Shelley's birth, and stricken with grief, her father promptly published a memoir revealing publicly for the first time her mother's scandalous love affairs with other men and attempts on her own life. Because her mother was a famous figure in the feminist movement, the book shocked the nation and was used as ammunition to diminish her ideas. The so-called immoral sexual behavior described in the book would tarnish Mary's reputation even as a kid, and it would add to the guilt that she felt about her mother's death. But the circumstances of her upbringing weren't exactly ideal either. One of Mary's first memories was tracing the letters on her mother's grave, which was how she learned to spell her own name. She grew up above a bookstore that her father owned in central London, near a courthouse and prison. This is the place where prisoners were publicly executed, which is probably not a great sight for a little girl. It didn't help that an open market was nearby, and the screams of the butchered pigs would sometimes wake her and her siblings. Her dad, who was an author, demanded total silence in the house when he was writing. He took out his grief on losing his first wife on Mary by treating her coldly, which would hurt her deeply her whole life. Her father remarried when she was 4, and she did not like her stepmother. She would sometimes get away from it all by going to her mother's gravesite to relax. Remember this because it's going to come into play later. Despite all this, everyone could see that she was a very intelligent woman, and her dad did foster her intelligence by teaching her himself. But when she was 14, she was sent to Scotland to live with a family acquaintance. She would stay there for around 2 years, and when she returned, she would meet the man who would inspire Victor Frankenstein himself, but you'll have to wait until next time to find out how.